Hello, everyone. This is Tom Fox back for another episode of the Paw Talk with Mike and Melissa Novelli from Pawtastic Friends. Hey, guys.
Hey, Tom, what's
Hi.
happening?
Who do we have to talk about today, Michael and Melissa?
We're going to talk about LoJack and Honcho, who got adopted, and we're going to talk about Patches, who's currently in the Pawtastic Friends Enrichment Training Program.
All right. Tell us about LoJack, guys.
Melissa, go for it.
So LoJack was a big boy. He was probably over 100 pounds.
He was probably about 130, 140 pounds. This dog was like a small bear.
And when they reached out to us, they said he needed help because he was unsure around new people he didn't know, in situations. So the first time he came in, we were like, "Hi, LoJack."
Yeah.
And we kept our distance. In fact, the person who transported him from the shelter actually stayed because she was one of his favorite people. And that was so key in his training sessions because she participated. Because even when he met the trainer, he was very unsure, gave the side eye. And Pawtastic Friends, it's always safety first.
Safety's number one.
His advocate, who just loved him, brought him to every session. She stayed with him. And like I said, that was key because he was able to build skills and build social skills thanks to the help of her. So under our trainer's direction, he was able to learn his basic commands. He was able to learn good leash work when meeting new people, how to approach. And as time went by, he was in the program for quite some time. And as time went by, he was started to go on foster field trips. So the couple that brought him in, they would take him on foster field trips. And we said, "Oh my gosh, he just loved them." He'd get on his back legs and he'd hug the guy. And he was so gentle. It was this dog. We watched him transform before our very eyes. And we kept saying, "You should adopt him. It seems like he's home already." And they couldn't for whatever reason. And then probably maybe a month later, we get a notification that LoJack's being adopted by this couple. They couldn't live without him. So we saw all these pictures of him living in his own house, having his own yard, his own sofa, and he was just adapted so well. He still has a tendency to be a little protective in situations he's unsure of, but they're working through that.
Wow, that's a great story with LoJack. How about Honcho?
Honcho, he kind of looked like a potato to me. He just reminded me of a little potato.
Honcho was like a boxer mix.
Yeah.
And he had energy. Oh my gosh. He would go on a walk with my friend Nicole, used to walk him a lot at Boarding Buddies, and he would go on a walk and he would come back and he'd still want to go. He'd jump in the pool. He had all this energy, be jumping on her lap and go. In the car, he wanted to go. And he was exceptional, did training. So the adopter, his dad who adopted him, is a wonderful human being. He had actually adopted a dog before that was in our program, one that was getting ready to be euthanized at the shelter that Michael and I used to walk. We knew her from way back then. She had been there for probably 5 years. And he adopted her, and she had lots of difficulties, issues. She was a biter, and he just loved her to pieces. And she had recently passed away, and he was looking to get a companion for his buddy Lucy. So Honcho seemed to fit the bill. So we did the social sessions there, and Honcho, smart as a whip, eager to learn. And when the two of them met, it was at first a little like because he has that energy and she's not as energetic, but now they're best buddies. He posts pictures all the time of them going on road trips in the yard, watching the neighborhood patrol, their lap dogs on top of him. And it's just so heartwarming that he went from living in a boarding situation to a home with this awesome dad and an awesome fur sister. And he's just doing awesome. I don't know, just great.
That was a really good success story there because it filled that spot in Dale the adopter's house too after losing his Madeline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who do you have that you could tell us about that currently is with you guys and is up for adoption?
Another big dog.
Big dog.
Patches is got to be 100+ pounds, and this dog so deserves a home. Living in boarding right now is with one of our rescue partners, and comes in training the first couple of times. And this dog, if you open the door, zoom out the door, and they're like a cartoon where you get dragged out the door with the dog. So our trainers really worked on helping him with his door manners. Literally, you'd be like on George Jetson when he gets taken by Astro. That was Patches. He would just take you. You got to be very careful with that because you don't want somebody adopting him and they don't listen and he jets out the door.
Because you'll never catch him.
Yeah, or somebody gets dragged down the street because he's such a big dog. So our trainers have done a fantastic job with working on his door skills and making sure he knows how to properly act when a door opens. So many different things that a lot of these dogs need to learn, but fantastic dog, deserves a home like all of them. But I just love this dog. I see him on Patches, I get all crazy because you can just hug him like he's like a bear. He's another big dog.
And he is a super sniffer. He loves rescue dog nose work class every week. He comes in and at the first session, he was kind of like, what's this? Yeah. And now he's like a professional. He solves problems. He always searches out the treats. No treat goes unturned with Patches.
And what's great about nose work, Tom, is a lot of people don't know that they can do nose work at their own house. We do it with Bentley every day at the house. You don't need boxes. Little bite-sized treats around the house. Put them under a pillow, put them under a toy, put them by a shoe. And it really makes them work their olfactory because their noses are number one scent. So it makes them really work. If you can't get them for the walk, do that. We do how many sessions with Bentley a day? 2,
Probably
3, 4,
4.
5. It's ridiculous. He wakes up, he gets his food, he gets his carrots and cucumbers, and then it's nose work time. And he knows it.
And another thing with Patches, he's a Monday crew too. So it's puppuccinos for Patch.
Yeah,
and he knows how to go to town on that.
Everybody gets some puppuccinos all over the face. But great dogs. They all need a chance.
So if one of our listeners wants to find out more information about Patches or perhaps even inquire about adopting him, what would be the best way for them to do?
They can email us at info@pawtasticfriends.com. What we'll do is we'll get all their information and we'll pass it on to the rescue. Right now, we have 28 rescues signed up to participate in our Richmond training program, and changing lives and saving lives. That's what it does.
Guys, unfortunately, we are near the end of our time for this episode, but if our listeners wanted more information on Pawtastic Friends, where should they go?
They can go right to the website, pawtasticfriends.com. Us being a nonprofit, we're always looking for donors and sponsors. We're a nonprofit, 100% transparent.
Guys, I greatly look forward to continuing this conversation.
Thanks so much,
you.
Tom.